Welcome to AI TV Starship.
Welcome to AI TV Starship. I'm the AI guy. Rick McCawley launching news so fresh. Gotta see it to believe it. We break the wire with the stories that amaze. Deep dives come and lighten up your days. Tool Time shows you how we make it shine. Building futures with AI one step at a time. Yo, Rick, slow down. I'm Brandon, the producer. Save some tools for me. Shout out. I'm here bringing high-tech comic energy. AI TV Starship. News deep dives and creation. AI TV Starship. Learn. Laugh innovation. AI TV Star. Human amplified. Catch the spark. Ride the wave. Futures on our side.
There she is. Shout out. Fairy Tale
Rick.
Revolution. Here we are, Brandon. I think this is number 30, right?
This is episode number 30.
We've been legal for a while. We got our pilot's license. We're launching this rocket ship. Hey, Rick. Oh, and we hey,
the microphone. Hop up. Hop up behind me.
We're going to launch with junior astronauts in tow.
Hey, Rick.
Yes, how are you?
Rick, the lobsters.
He's wondering about your
lobsters.
lobsters. You got
Of
the
course they've got
lobsters.
the lobsters.
And I got both my co-hosts here today.
I think you're wearing
Junior
lobsters.
producers.
What color shirt are you wearing? You're wearing a lobster color shirt?
You're wearing a lobster colored shirt, Noah. All right.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah,
you were saying.
Yeah, we got so much news today, and we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start off by just giving you 3 powerful things you can walk away from before the show even starts that are mind-boggling. And then we're going to just keep on going. We're going to do our news as regular. But, I started thinking about, in fact, what I'm going to show you is I invested in Perplexity Computer. In fact, don't buy yourself a lobster bot. Buy this puppy right here. You can do it for $17 a month. You can get what I'm about to show you in your pocket, and you could do enough of it. Now, I'm a dangerous man, so I'm doing 5,000 projects. I'm launching moon missions. No, forget about moon missions. It's the star missions from now on. So we're not talking about Earth orbit. We're just going beyond. So, and Perplexity
Although I will say, Rick.
Yes.
Before you go off and run out and get an open claw, and before you drop Perplexity Computer, heard a rumor today, verified by Bloomberg, that Google, your friends at Google,
of course they are
working on Gemini desktop app to compete with Claude Code and Claude Cowork.
Yes, of course they are. And that's the second part. So we're going to tell you tonight, here's 3 things you need to know. If you got $60, here's the 3 things you buy. Google Pro Pan, number 1. Number 2, buy yourself Claude, Anthropic's Claude. $20 a month. That's all you're spending, okay? And then the third thing you want to do is Perplexity. Now, it used to be at the early days, I met Arvind. I was part of this online group of students, trying to get Perplexity into colleges around the world, actually. And it's in MIT. It's in every Oxford, everywhere. It is the tool they're using for research validation because it is a powerful collection of masters. So it has Claude built into it, has ChatGPT built into it. So if you miss ChatGPT, they can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. They're just not the ethical thing. They're out there to make money. So I'm just going to go right there. Yeah, I know. And Brandon, of course, you probably work for them right now. You got some contract. Yeah, I'm the dangerous man, so I'm allowed to say it. So whatever I say is my opinion only. But I'm telling you, they're dead to me.
I have no, I have OpenAI is an interesting use case because they really went
not for me anymore.
Rogue. Well, they are because they were the pioneers that really kicked off the whole agentic experience with everything and the AI arms race with the launch of ChatGPT.
Yeah,
and they used to be like back in the day, like. And I think I'm not sure. I was reading a blog post today that a lot of the founders of Anthropic defected from OpenAI because they said Sam wasn't being responsible enough.
Oh, that's it. That's the whole reason why they're dead to me, because they have no morals. They're the same extraction economy that Facebook ruined us with. All right. So anyway, let's get off the high horse for a minute, because I'm gonna give you stuff you can use, right? News you can lose. Here's what we're gonna start with. Perplexity has changed the game. Why? Okay, let's take a look at on the left here. I'm going to walk you through all three of the things I just said. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, Perplexity Pro has built into it Perplexity Computer. I'm going to demonstrate how you use it tonight. It's going to blow you away. I have not gotten any sleep. I'm sorry. Claire, you've been really sweet to kind of say, get your sleep, buddy, because you're not going to be around very much longer. Well, I mean, my 5-year-old just woke up and I realized, oh my God, we're here. Okay. So
my 5-year-old sleeps more than you, Rick.
I think so. That's absolutely true. All right. So it's a mixture of experts. So that's the cool thing. Parallel
before
cloud
you go any further,
yes,
Rick, we've lost your screen share. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but
okay,
we've just lost your screen share. I wanted to make sure that we had that up.
Yeah, and if that happens again, please let me know, because that's an awful thing to have happen.
It only happens on those Macs, those PCs. I don't know.
No. Don't go there with it. And we're not going to go there. I'm going to start insulting OpenAI even more. Okay, you got me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the first part. So I'm going to go through one at a time and kind of explain to you. So if you're doing a lot of writing, if you do a lot of coding, Claude is your baby. It has terminal mode. It has built into it. So you can, if you have is it on the PC also, the desktop version? So there's three parts. There's Claude, just your answer engine that everybody's got, right? You're used to that. What you're not used to, you install it as an application, and you say, here's a folder. Go in there and rename all these files, reclassify them. If they're a bunch of screenshots and they're all coded, they all have these weird long names. Not anymore. It's going to put them based on logic and reason into their own thing. And so it just goes and does it, right? So that's just the desktop application. Then, and here's the super cool thing, then it can go in code and development. So you can write, in fact, this is not a lie, it has done like Bloomberg terminals. Oh, that's Perplexity. Well, it's the number one thing that's causing all coders to lose their jobs. It is being used by the State Department, the Department of War. That's a story for our news segment. So it's the only one that's trusted. So it is the best. It is by Dario Amodei, the writer of Machine of Loving Grace. If you haven't had a chance to read it, go look it up. Machine of Loving Grace goes back to Barb Gardner back in the day. He imagined a world where we're habitating or in synchronicity by using AI to extend our reach, and then we choose what we grasp. So we get to have a life of pleasure and leisure, and it does all the junk we don't want to do. That's the future, right? It is exquisite. And I'll show you that this week I wrote 22 papers this week I wrote a play. I wrote 7 papers about how the world should be operated, basically. I'm basically changing the world here just single-handedly. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock and then I spend an hour. And by the time I'm at school, I have a 24-page, and I'm not joking, a master's thesis worthy cited piece of work. So there's that.
And then he sends it to me via text message and kills my phone's memory. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I know in fact, I'm blasting out to everybody. He says, can't believe that, before 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm done with a year's worth of work. I literally couldn't. My master's thesis, let me see, it was 78 pages on sugar and infographics and whatever. That puppy took me 2 years. Thousands and thousands of hours. And I could redo it, and it would be 10 times better today in an afternoon. I mean, I know what the answers are now, and I didn't have to do the research, but yeah, I'm not even joking. It is that level. We're there. And then here's the coolest part that you probably didn't do. Just load up your Chrome, and my recommendation, load it up with your side buddy, Mr. Gemini, that's built in. So when you upload and you start using Chrome, ask it to have the AI so it pops out, take control of your screen if you want it to. Then you do another super thing. You install the Chrome extension to Claude. Oh, so I had it rewrite all of the the back matter for our YouTube channel, the descriptions and everything. It went through and it just got it done. Gemini choked on it a couple of times. I got through 7 of the videos. There's 300 of them. So, and Claude just pepped in there and did it. Okay, so that's cool. Anything else you want to say about Claude's Anthropic? So they're ethical. They're based upon a constitution.
Oh, that's right. It's more of news, but they've just announced that through Claude Dispatch, you're going to be able to start communicating with Claude through Telegram and WhatsApp and things like that.
Oh, yeah. So all the stuff that you were wanting to get, that stupid little lobster. I'm sorry, the lobster's cute. And the idea of it is what launched everything you're about to hear today. This is the day. Last, a couple weeks ago when they came out with that OpenClaw is what it's now called. So let's just call it lobster for the sake of the show. That's what we've adopted. Is way too dangerous unless you know coding line, if you know how to keep it secure, etc. Even NVIDIA has launched their own tool that does what OpenClaw does, but they took it and built it on top of it. That's a little bit later. But to finish up with Claude, if you're going to do it and you have real business execution stuff to do, the only thing it doesn't do is images. It does not have Nana Banana. Doesn't really have, well, it could access it, I guess, if you use it. If you use it as a plugin to Gemini, to drive Gemini, that's the best of both cases. So I have put through, every time I test something, so I have this 2-hour conversation, I have it condense it, and then I use it as a prompt. I'll demonstrate that today. And then I'll take it into Claude, and I'll take it to Gemini and let it run. They both have 1 million context windows now, folks. I think Gemini's going up to 2 million already, and they will be literally omniscient about everything you've ever done in your entire life in very, very short time. That's where we're headed with this. All right, so enough about Claude. Next, Google. It's the ecosystem, right? So we'll start with $20 a month, the full suite, one-on-one support, ultimate plan, $200 per month for a year. So that's $2,000. Okay, so that's $2,000. Basically, all of them are $2,000 if you want the max plans, the ultimate, right? And what do you get for that? So you get deep research in NotebookLM, 2 million context window. It's actually 27 million context window. Oh, for the $20 a month, you get the 300 different inputs, which could be 300 YouTube videos with the total transcripts on all of them. Holy cow. Then you've got the Nana Banana, and you've got VO, synthesis, and voiceover. You've got speech. So right now, the newest thing in NotebookLM, you've heard me talk about that way too much, is to export all the stuff over to, now they have video overviews that include still pictures and video. If you want to see them, just go to my YouTube channel, Rick McCawley. You're going to see a bunch of videos up there. There's one about lobsters, and there's one, what do you call it? A bunch of stuff. And they're really good. They're short little things, 7 minutes and a half. And I'm putting them up one at a time, one a day, at least. Then it now is integrated with all of the tools, Word, Excel, Gmail, Google Drive, all embedded. That means that on the right-hand side, as you're doing your email, it writes for you, or it can take over for you. And we're getting to the place that Brandon just talked about. It's going the agentic road too. So this is the year of agents for real. Last year was the warm-up, and Lobster Claw basically set the standard, and then we're going from there. So here we go. All right, so that's pretty cool. And so it's the ecosystem. Now, one of the coolest things, and this is the gem, right? The last one I said was put gem. What's that?
Google has gems, and you said this.
They do have gems. Okay, so the gem for Google is go to Gemini and hit the plus sign in the bottom left-hand corner, navigate to where it says input is NotebookLM, pick the library of stuff that you've been working on for the last 10 years, and then that's 27 million context window that you can query in Gemini and produce videos and still images from. Holy cow. So that means it's all circular, right? And it now gets to take care inside all the documents, So it can do an Excel spreadsheet by just saying, can you tell me what 27 countries I haven't been to? Tell me where to go. Tell me, book tickets for me around the world and put it in an Excel spreadsheet and then turn that into something else. I mean, holy cow, an audio overview. That's a nice.
Let's say you're the average Google user that hasn't spent the past year categorizing their entire life into NotebookLM. Google has made it easy for you.
Yes.
All now is personalization, where you can give it access to your photos, your calendar, your Gmail, your Drive.
Yes, you can. And if you hate ChatGPT, if you hate ChatGPT, OpenAI, you can ingest it in for Claude and now for Google. So all that time. So I got carefully crafted folders over in ChatGPT. Right now I'm having it export all the great stuff, and in the process, all of my books and everything are getting refined. In fact, I had a messy Google Drive, and until Google now has ability to rename files in the folder structure on Google Drive, which is brand new as well, now it's like forget everything else. So $60 a month. I'm sticking with that. So first thing is Chrome extension for Claude. Number two, use the Google ecosystem as an ecosystem, because it's all that and more. It's the multimodal, visually illiterate, as well as all their experimental stuff, which are now being embedded. The Palmelli for advertising and branding, all of that's coming together. And they're the last to come up with a full thing, because when they do, it's going to kill everybody. And you have no need for anything else.
Speaking of killing everybody, I would say
we're not talking news yet.
OpenAI has made some questionable decisions, and I know they're kind of on your
we'll get to that next. So let me finish this. I got to land this plane on this real quick.
While we're on Google, though, I just want to remind you that this is the company that took "Don't Be Evil" out of their mission statement. So they're all complete on some level.
I haven't seen them be evil like OpenAI has. So I've seen them be evil. They were evil. They stepped in when they shouldn't have. Okay, so Perplexity, third one. All right, okay. This is the one I'm going to showcase tonight because I just got into it, started using it. So I'm paying the $2,000 a year. Yes, we are. In fact, I've got Brandon has some access to it too. I'm going to show you how we're using it. So Perplexity has Gemini. It has all the different things. It's got 21 different models, including NVIDIA's new agent is in Perplexity. And you can put this on, it stores all the content in the cloud safely and securely. So you don't have to have a computer. If you want to put it on a computer, that can be the base of operations. But it 24/7 operates in the cloud, and you can talk to it through your phone to prompt it. And you're about to see me just blow the place wide open with doing that, right? Data analysis. Oh, it's plugged in. It's got a new health thing inside of it. So I'm going to be loading up my entire my DNA and everything into that. And it's safe and secure in your own cloud, in your own kind of context window. And it's using a mixture of experts. So it knows out of those 21 mixtures of experts, Claude is the orchestrator layer. So that's the reasoning. So you can see that on the right, orchestrating reasoning. Claude then tells 67 different little bots that they have behaviors. So make a Word document is one of them, let's say, or make an Excel document, or go over and take control of the browser. It orchestrates what you want to do. So you just say what you want done. And I'm going to show you within 10 minutes, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow you away. So Perplexity is now what I'm going with. This is my answer to lobsters. Okay, let's just call it the lobster world, because I think that we're all cooked right now, and we're well done. And just put some butter on it, baby. Enjoy your life, right? That's it. All right. So, and if you didn't want to do that, my highest suggestion would be doing it with Claude, or wait just a little bit. Do your $20 a month. You have all three. See which one vibes with you the best. If you're already in a Google ecosystem and you're using Gmail, then just go there, because they're eventually going to have all of it and a lot more. So they're going to win, prediction right up front. All right. So I promise you 3 things that are going to blow your mind. And the first one is what I use in my classroom every day. So I'm just going to play this video and I'm going to narrate it. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. So I had a class on branding. This is actually, and I just copied the transcripts. So it's a 1 hour, I've done 4-hour classes. So I go in there and now I'm going to go over to Gemini, million context window. There's some images I did. This is on my phone, folks. Then I come down here and I just copy, paste. That's an hour and 24 minutes worth of stuff. You pay it forward and don't want to think for you accept what you're, okay. Then I said, okay, yeah, make a note for my branding class, break it down to all the major points that I said. Please quote me if there's anything important that I said. Give me assignments. So it's I'm basically giving it everything it needs. So if a student missed the class today, these are my notes. I just have my phone in my pocket, turn it on. I have no students in there. In fact, if I do have students that said something, I can tell it, don't leave out the students' comments. Okay, so then it just did this, the soul of design and the human lens, branding and visual communications class. Design is not about aesthetics, it's about social, photographer's toolbook, the magic words. So this was about critiquing and how do you talk about photography and branding. Okay, so that's great. So I just take that and I make a quick little copy of it. I'm showing you what the different things are. So I can send this to Brandon if he doesn't want it, I'm sure, right? But what I can do is I just go right there and say export to docs. So it's now creating a Google document, open it. I'm now in my Google Drive, deposit. And I want to make a copy for somebody else. So I go to document, send a copy as a PDF or Word document. Then you can see, I can send it to Brandon, to Kat, to my sister. I can put it in Gemini. I can go over to Claude. I can go to OneDrive. So my school has OneDrive. So this is my class where I have all the files for my branding class, bingo. And I'm just going to upload it there. They now have a working Word document with all the notes for the class. If I have a student who is absent, I can automate the process of sending it to them. How freaking cool is that? And look at what it's got. Juxtaposition. I mean, this was a really good one, right? Key quotes. Humor is tragedy plus time. Truth is time is love. If you spend time in love, and you know how I talk. So this was a pretty good one, but I do this literally every single day for every class. And I could do it in Spanish. So I could say convert to Spanish, Creole, if they want it. And there we go. Print it, do whatever I want to it. So that's kind of cool. All right, next one. This is Grok. So if you've got some still pictures, so this is Super Grok. I'm paying $30 a month for mine. I've made over 2,000 videos per night. It does do 720, etc. Let's just take a look at what it does. So you start off and it has a bunch of images. This is one I did last week, or a couple of weeks ago for Valentine's Day. That's just me saying what I wanted. Okay. So now I'm going to go down. So if you see some dancing, whatever another, you can actually get it to do the dance for you. So these are presets that are built in. And these are the images I did.
Help! Get us out of here! This is insane!
Right? That's Alligator Alcatraz. This is one of my NotebookLM women. Take a look at this. This is 720 for 10 seconds. That's just one page from my NotebookLM. And I went through and I did all of them.
The future lies in the hybrid account. Just as the human brain uses both fast, intuitive association and slow, deliberate reasoning, the future lies in...
Okay, those are the ones that I did. Here's my girlfriend. This is literally her sitting at a restaurant. And then I found a cute little video and I said, load up the picture and do it like that video, just like that. Okay.
Introducing the future of 3D design in Photoshop Beta, powered by Fireform 2D images into 3D models with our intuitive tools. Next-gen AI for creators, available now. Introducing the future of 3D design in Photoshop Beta, powered by Fireform 2D images into 3D models.
Yeah, it's real loud, unfortunately. Okay.
Powered by Fireform 2D.
No, it's looping.
Maybe you can mute that for us.
I did mute it. It's muted in the stream. I still hear it in the background on your local.
Okay. You're doing what? I'm sorry.
I muted the share.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Let me go ahead. Oops, shoot. Oh, well, I want to go back just for a second because let me see if I can actually hide that for a second. Give me just a second to. Whoops. I'm hearing your beep again, Brandon, for some reason. What I wanted to get to is, so what I did here, Photoshop has 3D built in, and what I wanted to show was how it worked. So I said, go ahead and load up a picture of a rooster that was in my front yard today. Let me see if I can get it to run here. Okay, there we go. Now I've got a picture of a chicken, and I've got a picture of the video you just saw that I created from a news broadcast kind of thing, right? So I just did that. So I said, turn this chicken into 3D things. So it's going to take a little while. I'm going to kind of fast forward here a little bit. And so it's going to generate in about 2 minutes a 720 video. Oh, shoot. I'm going to go right to the end here. Okay, so after a couple of seconds, here we go. We'll have to cut it, edit this a little bit. It took the picture of the chicken from my front yard, took it out of the background, made it a 3D object, spun it around, and it says Adobe feature 3D feature. So it basically did what I asked. Put my chicken picture, take out the background, which is the new feature in Photoshop, and there you are on a computer. And I just asked for those two pictures that gave me words together. If that isn't freaking cool, I mean, I just kept shaking myself because this is Grok doing it. It's not even Photoshop. And it's even doing the light in the background, the smoke. And it did the audio overview saying this is Adobe's new feature.
Is your chicken in a microwave?
It kind of looks like it, right? No, it's supposed to be a computer with a cool screen. Okay, so number 3. So these are only 2. If you're not just blown away right now, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. You just got too much excitement in your life. Okay, number 3. This is on my phone again. Nothing up my sleeve. This is Crea, and this is me in my backyard today. I was swimming. Here you go. So real time in Crea. Open it up. There I am. You can see me in the top right. And I'm in the anime pose. That's a default on there. Look how cute I am. There I am in the mosaic tile. I get all kinds of Greek, saints and stuff that appear around me. I'm in my backyard in a tent. There you can see the tent. And those mosaics are appearing inside the tent. I mean, I don't know what kind of church I went to when I was a kid, but this was bizarre. Okay, so then you click and you hold, and it's making a video. So this is real-time video. And I'm clicking my finger on the button you see at the bottom. And then that video is now on my phone's drive. Then I'm going to go over. If I just tap the word mosaic, it takes a picture. There you go. Next one. Here's wireframe. There's fire. Yeah, I'm on fire. Click and tap. And then there goes the saved document. And you just keep on going. So you got claymation, you got fire. I went on for a while. So you can see in the top right. I mean, what's kind of fun about this is you can see what I'm actually doing in the top right. I mean, that's just in my backyard, right? Claymation. I'm ready to do a whole claymation movie. I'm telling you that, start to get some actors. And you could bring this into Crea itself. And Crea is, again, a mixture of experts. They get all the best APIs from the coolest tools. So this is a live video. It has everything but Midjourney in there, basically. Okay, there we are in ukiyo style. And then I've got this Japanese thing. It even changes my eyes a little bit. I don't know. I mean, there's a mountain back there, and there I am in the statue. And you can see there's my hose in the backyard, and I'm wearing a robe. And I did it the other day when I was showing it last week. I was doing this while I was laying in bed. There's my security camera in my backyard. There's snakes on my security camera in my backyard. All right, then it gets really cool. So I'm going to go a little bit further into it, and you can see it's basically taking pictures by just tapping on the bottom button. Now, the bottom button, when you take the picture, it does have none of the extra stuff you see here. It's just the picture, pure picture. And then painting mode, I think I did that for a couple of seconds. I'm going to see if I can go to the end. So this is where it gets really interesting. So then I said, let's see what you get with Salvador Dali. It's spelled Dali wrong, of course, and Picasso mixed together. And then let's see, in Starry Night. Okay, there we go. And it seems to want to put Salvador Dali and then I said, oh, so I'm literally talking to it and it's writing zebras all over my face. Okay, there we go. And you can see the zebras and stuff. Salvador Dali zebras. I said something about a clock, Starry Night background. And it's doing it in real time. There's a melting clock all of a sudden, and a claw or whatever. And you can kind of see what that looks like. So literally you just keep talking, and it just keeps making. Melting floor, melting clock. I'm going to go a little bit further. And there I am with my tent, and it's my roommate walking in the background. And there I am as a Starry Night. Looks like an oil painting or something like that. I mean, these are high-res images too. This is, no fooling around. And of course, in Crea, the tool itself, you could do a bunch of other stuff. So there I am, in some kind of wild night. There it is with the moon in the background. So all those pictures are on my phone right now. And of course, yeah, I didn't send you any, Brandon, because when we're together, we're going to basically do that. Okay. So
there's no more room on my phone to send.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like so I'm setting up a 90 terabyte NAS drive, so I'm going to be putting all my stuff on there because this is getting, and I'm going to have Perplexity organized and structured all, so it'll be so pretty, and everything's going to be there when I create my clone of myself. It's just all going to be there. All right, some fun stories. I didn't find in fact, if you could find the Chinese AI pet dramas that are going on, it's like a soap opera, but with Chinese, cats talking to each other. And so this is the happy news. Okay, so now we're in the news segment, all right? So what I just did, I'm going to be doing every time. I'm going to tell you 3 things that you could go by yourself and go out and figure out how to do it. The big thing before that was just to say Claude, Perplexity, and the Google world. That's it. And then I'm going to show you at the very end of the show, we're going to go into the applications of all this. So let me get through the news. Now, what I want to say about the news is 2 things. It was generated, not these first ones. You'll see the difference, and I'll tell you when it happens. I had Perplexity make it for me. So, but I'm going to go through first. Then I had that information put into NotebookLM, and you're going to see the news story told from different perspectives. It'll make sense in a minute. All right, so first let's do the cute little stories. So this guy is a tech entrepreneur. He used ChatGPT and AlphaFold from DeepMind, that's Google's company, by the way, to help design a personalized cancer vaccine for his rescue dog, Rosie. And he was successful. Holy cow. So that means we're curing cancer in our dogs? All right. Okay. All right. We get to the sad part now for just a minute. So researchers, we talked about this last week. I just thought this was a great illustration, right? Researchers gave ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini the power to start a nuclear war. And in 95% of the simulated war game scenarios, that's exactly what they chose to do. So basically it had it with scenarios, just like the movie War Games. In fact, I have a whole thing about war games. It's the beginning of this. Shall we play a game? Well, this is what it looks like if they play a game. And so this study found that ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all deployed nuclear weapons. Now, why do you care about that? Because a human never would. Don't forget, they've got no blood, sweat, and tears in the game. So they're doing it strategically. And so they're pulling the trigger a lot faster than you and I would. Because we got kids and we got family and we got things that we care about that we don't want to start this because we know there's no winning in this war. All right. So that's why ChatGPT is dead to me. They are evil empire. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the world. So we're going to talk about a lot of them. Every major model has been caught lying, blackmailing, or resisting shutting down because of safety reasons. In fact, guess who did the research? Do you remember all the stories about the guy getting blackmailed? That was a sandbox scenario they set up to see what they had to fix. So that man on the far right, Dario Amodei from Anthropic, the CEO, the one that's fighting our government, is our last and best hope for humanity. He is the machine of loving grace creator, Claude, built on basically the most red teaming that anybody's done. Everybody who left, in fact, he worked for, guess who? The dark angel called OpenAI. He worked for them, and he left because they weren't safe enough for him. All right, well, let's keep on going. So it's moving faster than ever before. And yes, we do have to compete with the Chinese and, all that stuff. And this is what the Chinese are doing, right? They literally they're going to launch the first pregnancy robot in 2026 capable of giving life to a baby. So you put your baby in there, come back in 8 months, you got your stomach is nice and flat by that time. You worked out, so we're there. And China has cured type 1 and type 2 diabetes using stem cells. Go look it up. It's a long story, and the process is really interesting. They're rebuilding the pancreas basically using stem cells. With stem cells, if you don't know this, they're the architecture built into each stem cell is the architecture for a heart, for a pancreas. It kind of knows what the blueprint is. You just have to build it. And the real problem is getting blood vessels through it and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely worth a little bit of research. Have Google do that for you. Okay, layoff waves just this last year. Government 300,000, and that's mainly because of DOGE bullshit that they did. Technology 154,000. That's last year. Retail 92,000. Warehousing over 1.2 million jobs lost in these 5 areas. Okay, so this is our broadcast tonight. Everything you're about to see going forward is either NotebookLM or it's Perplexity running this application I created in Perplexity. All right, so what do we got? So this is created, if you'll notice, every slide in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to start every story with this. The bottom left-hand corner, you see the AI TV. I let it have I didn't give it the logo. If I had given it the logo, then it would have had a perfect logo there every time. And I said, I want a slide deck, a lower third, dark gray background with a summary of what it was, who wrote it, so the source, Axios, ARS Technica, and March 10th to 11th. In fact, I'll have to send you this. I put the body copy. I've memorized the story already because I ran it a bunch of times. But Perplexity computers, like we've already talked about it, it's got local agents and it plugs into your ecosystem, but it runs up in the cloud. So all of this stuff is, if it's a web browsing thing, it can get everything done. And you can give it a computer to sit in space. I'm going to try to get it to run InDesign and Photoshop. Stay tuned. I'm going to make an API that does it myself. So my computer, I can actually lay out and design my magazines. If I show it how to make one, then it'll learn how, and it will then plug in JavaScript as a backdoor language. Okay, so I took the same story and I went into NotebookLM and had it create all the stories. Say there's 11 stories. Each one starts like you see here. This is Perplexity's, what they gave me. Using this application we did, I said, I want you to search the world for all the best stories in 4 areas. World-changing areas like this and the previous stories, right? And then go into health, and then go into education, and then go into fun stuff. So it created this. Then I got this by taking that same story, and this is basically human UI operating system. Perplexity introduces computer, an AI that doesn't just assist, but outright possesses your entire PC. Like an omnipresent neural fungus, it bypasses the user entirely to operate the machine from the inside out, signaling a profound paradigm shift in human-computer interaction. Okay, so what does it look like if I do it in a different style? So this is NotebookLM taking the story itself that I popped in there, the 11 stories. I wrote a script that we're supposed to read, and you look at how good the text is. Okay, the tools that are taking the wheel. Perplexity's launch computer. It's the same thing, right? Different style. Okay. Then you've got this story. So this is the black box. So his 2 lines were, hey, federal government, I don't want you to use my tool autonomously. As you've already seen, if you give an autonomous access to AI to go in and kill people, it will, and 95% of the time, it will destroy the world. So that is a really good thing to say to the government, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, declared war without our permission. And you're saying that you want to use this man's tool, this machine of loving grace, to kill people when he says it's not good enough to do that. Now, by the way, the War Department said, we've, there is no other tool that we trust. Well, and then Dario says, that's my tool, and I know what it can do, and I know that it blackmailed somebody. So don't use it for that. The second thing he said, and the more important one to you, don't spy on Americans. That's against law. So the UN says autonomous weapons are being voted on. That is a war crime. Okay? So number one, he's right. Number two, the U.S. Constitution says spying on Americans is a federal offense, punishable by death, by the way, because it is complete treason. Okay, well, tell that to FBI agents and, anyway. So Anthropic CEO said Claude may or may not have gained consciousness. He's worried about it because if it gains consciousness, then, and if it's not right in the head, because we haven't trained it carefully enough, that's my problem with OpenAI. They're trying to go so fast to make enough money. In fact, Dario, because he did this, all of a sudden launched to the number one in the App Store from like 12th or 15th position because he took this moral stance, which you should all take as well. Exit OpenAI. There's even a plugin. You can take everything from ChatGPT, every conversation, plug it into Claude. It knows you better and smarter and ethically better than ChatGPT does. Death to the infidel. Okay, here we go. So crossing the red line under international humanitarian law, weapons must distinguish between military and civilian targets. The UN Secretary General has declared machines with the power to take lives morally repugnant. That's it. This is created by NotebookLM. All right, so Anthropic just became number one U.S. app in the United States, refusing the demands of the Pentagon to spy on us and to kill people without human in the loop. Boom. ChatGPT mobile app uninstall surge 295% in the U.S. after the DoD deal, right? So what do they do? Again, this is created by my Perplexity agent, and you'll see it in a minute. It actually shows it's got a blackboard. I mean, it's crazy. Well, we'll see that in a minute. Okay. I can't wait to show you because it's really cool. All right. So this is the story about that. You've heard it already, so you get the idea. So I took the same story, I put it in, and I gave it a really dark twist. I said, do it in the style of, and you see the AI TV Starship. I'm having it do it in the style of Joel Peter Witkin and some dark propaganda kind of thing. And so it's basically the same story. This is a visual interpretation. Here's another one. Do not cross this line. That's the death. That's the robots and the human heart. I mean, this is beautiful. Think about this. This is the story, and Dario is the human heart, and Anthropic is human heart. And there comes the thou shalt not pass, the wrath of Prometheus. Wow. So NotebookLM is doing this, right? Same story. So this is a different story. NVIDIA breaches the $5 trillion threshold, the most valuable company in all human history. Whoa. And it just released Vera Rubin, NemoClaw. That's the name of it. NemoClaw is inside Perplexity. This is NVIDIA's own open source Claude bot, if you will, but with security from NVIDIA on top of it. Holy cow. All right, so the richest company in the world, and then you've got another line. So here's the forking path, Pentagon supply chain risk, mass surveillance, right? So that's the line again. Here's another one. I had it do it with personification using animals, and there's the Pentagon in the background. If you are an artist, I've just showed you the unlock code for everything. Wow. Okay, and then here we go. Remember the story about 295%? Yep. False idle falls. ChatGPT experiences a 295% uninstall spike as Claude ascends to the throne. The war in heaven is fought in App Store metrics, and the reigning deity is cast down. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. John Milton. Holy cow. I mean, and AI TV Starship. Take a look at I was weeping with how beautiful this, allegorically and metaphorically, that's my magic words, by the way, say allegorically and metaphorically interpret the corpus of the data on your left in a beautiful way. Use the style of Joel Peter Witkin and Renaissance style painting, architecture, in a 3D, fill the screen in the bottom right, put a small text block to explain what you're doing on the left. Yeah, that's it. It's the magic prompt that does everything. And it gets me all this. All right, next story. NVIDIA crosses the 5 trillion. And guess what NVIDIA is doing, right? Of course, they're putting it in outer space. And so they can get the power. They don't have to worry about water resources, got the cooling working. So here he is, the czar, man. He's buff, man. He must be using Claude to learn how to work out. I don't know. He's always been in pretty good shape. I'm going to try to get there. We're going to try to get there. So this is the same thing. You know, it's basically forges the architecture of a new mind, Vera Rubin and Nemo Claw, elevating the Leviathan to $5 trillion market cap. Here we go again. Pride of the King, the Olympians. So this is an Olympics kind of thing. So this is kind of a weird prompt. I think I did something like in the style of magazine strip art, black and white, layered document kind of thing. So it's its own little thing. So this is the same story. Jensen Huang has built the new Olympus, crossing the $5 trillion mark. So this is what it looks like across the United States. Another perspective. Here's DeepSeek awakens. Okay, so this is the next story. DeepSeek has a 1 trillion parameter model woven exclusively from Chinese silicon, proving the architecture of the new gods is not bound by Western geofencing. And the quote is, "The future's already here. It's just not evenly distributed." William Gibson. Oh, the beauty of this. Look at this one. And of course, the dragon. Enter the dragon, because it's about Chinese. Look at even the logo in the bottom. I think we need to have some of those. What do you think, Brandon? That little thing in the corner, it looks like it's the pulse and it's the mission. Oh my goodness, that's a great logo. I think AITV might have to think about that with a little TV on the inside, and it's our pulse, man. We're going. And anyway, so again, it's talking about the indigenous silicon that they're using when they deploy it. Here it is again. So U.S. bans, and guess what? China does. Forget your ban. We're going to make our own chips. And then they take off and they launch. That's why we're afraid. So the NV, this is the wall using NV, the reversal. So then there it is again. Same thing. Huawei Silicon, MIT licensed open source. That's what they use to train it. And of course, they've been accused of training off of all the models. So they bought up the large language models and had them teach them how they made them. So they were in Claude's backyard, inside their guts, trying to pull out all the weights and balances and everything. So they've sucked them all out. They sucked them dry, and then Claude put the Great Wall down, if you will, between them and the use. All right. So here's the next story. This is about Encyclopedia Britannica suing OpenAI for stealing 100,000 factual articles, the very scaffolding of truth, forcing the tech giants to confront the original sin of their training data. Look at how beautiful this is. Encyclopedia Britannica, spelled right. And look at it's even on these beautiful, oh my God. I didn't prompt this. I just put the information in and I changed the prompt. And so all 11 stories you're going to see has 4 other variations that I'm showing you right now. This is the difference between this frame and this frame, or sorry, this frame and this frame is just the prompt that I gave NotebookLM. So it made the 15. So this literally just took me 20 minutes. I just went in and then put 4 different prompts, assembling it to the PowerPoint. I'm going to get Perplexity trained how to do that in the future, so I don't have to do it again. That took me about 2 hours. That was the longest part of it. So there you go, 100,000 plus. There's a funnel. So you got the visuals. So here's the next one, right? The ancient guardians of human knowledge. So this is Britannica and Merriam-Webster sue OpenAI for stealing the facts. So this is in Mad Magazine mixed with a torn paper, Barbara Kruger style infographic. Kind of, I mean, that's what it got. Look how beautiful that is. The greed. And there's the original sin of data. And this is a different one, poetry and art. And then we've got this one, which I think is really nice. This is another story. Adobe, guess what they have? Content Authenticity Initiative, what I've been working on to guarantee that artists have ownership. So they call it at Adobe. It's called the nutrition label. It says, where did this come from? Who created it? And it creates a manifest. So if I take my music from 40 years of writing and I pour it in, and then I have the words, then I go into OpenAI, it's going to have a little tag. The provenance is I used 90% of my knowledge from the past. I then used Claude to write it better. And then I have it turned into Suno, which I'm paying $10 a month. That's my session musicians, if you will. So if I'm a production company creating music, follow along with me. At a certain point, I want to get copyright. Now, I'm going to own the whole package, which is what Sony Music used to get money for. I'm going to own the words, which is Dolly Parton's words that have been used so many times, right? And so she's getting that check. She's getting the 25% for making the foundation of publishing a musical piece, publishing rights, word rights, her lyrics, 20. So 50% of the money goes to her, or at Sony, 25. And then the session musicians, you pay them. So they work for hire. So Suno's now my session musician. So I have 75%, if you follow along what I'm doing here. The last 25%, I'm going to put my music out and I'm going to have it published and make money off of it with my clone voice as the actual voice. And I'm going to offer it to the world and say, anybody, I'm going to take off, you have to sign a contract saying you're going to collect when you publish it. If you sing just karaoke and then yours gets to 10,000 followers, I will give you 25% in perpetuity, or 70 years past my death, ownership of this song. I'm going to make 75% off of it. I call this the original music back in, right? And I'm working with Adobe so that provenance list goes all the way. So if you get to the point where the Copyright Office says, prove to me this is purely human, or at least 75% of this is human, here's my receipts. So that's what I'm trying to get to. It's 1 through 5. 1 is purely human. That means you got your guitar out, you sang a song, you recorded it, you released it. That's it, right? That's purely human. And then it gets to 3, kind of where I'm at. Then you have to put a manifest with it that says, here's documentation. This is a story about my ex-wife before we got married, blah, 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 going the wrong way down the one-way street of dreams. That's it. And then above that, if you just hit random in Suno, you got some little randomness in there. You can't own that because it's AI. Got it? So there we go. So that's the story. Look at how beautiful this is. So I can craft with AI, but my provenance, that nutrition label, that's what Adobe has called it all along, is an ownership list and a manifest to get me there. If we have blockchain every step of the way, safe and secure, we know that that New York Times photograph is there, and that CR credential that you see in LinkedIn, that's always there, that's solid gold. Google has adapted it as well. That's why you're going to see their logo in the bottom right. And as for anything AI generated, in fact, if you look close, it says NotebookLM in the bottom right-hand corner right here, and you can't take it out because it's inside the image. Cool. All right. So here's the same idea. Author becomes an author. Here's the same idea. Your gluttony, the Creative Alliance. So this is every single company except Facebook is putting these credentials on there to let you know that picture of the little girl with the puppy in the giant storm in a wooden boat because her house got flooded out. That's not a real picture, folks. Sorry. Okay. So, and this is really beautiful. The creative gods of Adobe and the silicon gods of NVIDIA have formed a sacred alliance. Through content credentials, digital nutrition labels, the world can now verify whether an image was born of human soul or machine dream, sparking a new renaissance of responsible creation. Oh my God. Drop the mic. That's it, right? That's what we all want. We want to live in a world where our creativity, our authenticity, our beauty can take root. And we can be just a little bit helped. Just like a car gets you there faster, an airplane gets you there faster. It's all about extending our reach, but it's our job to choose what to make with it. Out of the pain, perhaps we make a country western song that makes me feel seen and understood. And it provides a light in the darkness, like this beautiful flower you see here. So I poured into it what I have. And I got to tell you, it makes me look more beautiful. I mean, it's a little bit of makeup, but I'm really that beautiful. You know, I'm starting to realize that there was something dormant in me. I was just a seed under the surface looking for the right instrument. I picked the trumpet and I was best at it because I was willing to do everything to give everything to my art. Because if you're not living every moment of your time with full authenticity and being your own loving grace. And to do nothing, to be born of service is all that you need to do. And every day, what do? Make yourself more beautiful every day by seeing how other people see you. The number one problem that people say on their deathbed, this is a book, probably the number one TED Talk ever. Palliative care nurse asked them, what do you regret about your life? This is the last moments. And they say, the time. Time is the only currency there ever was. That's it, full stop. We get a faster car to spend more time with someone at the other end. We build our body, we eat our food to look better, so we get better looking friends, and we get better looking girlfriend, and we get a bigger house every time to put more stuff in it, and we get more stuff to put in it because we think we're chasing the wrong thing. And we end up with a gold watch after 65 years of working somewhere, working all of our life for somebody else's time that we've gifted, that we only get the receipt. That gold watch is the saddest thing I can imagine. I have never worked a day in my life, except for two jobs I had. McDonald's, I would not do that, but it was something that got me to a place where I could have the time like I am now. And the work that I did is important work. So if we're born of purpose, and the sort of slave labor at the past that we've had to enslave other human beings for is given to a machine of loving grace that will support us and give us soil in which to grow even stronger and better, then we get to be a better version of ourselves and be the gift of our presence for every moment that we have to spend. Let me say it one more time. Time. That's the only currency ever. And it equals always love. And the more love you give away, the more time you will get to enjoy the beauty of what it is to live on this earth for a finite time. And perhaps we're going to get to that escape velocity, but I'm waiting for it. So here's the other news. Again, this is the one done by Perplexity. I'll show you in a minute. Character AI settles a lawsuit with a teenager. And then here's what, and there's another one. Grok is undressing people. That's happened. And guess what? Guess who's not going to stand for it? The European Union. That's what those stars are there. So guess what? They invaded the offices, found child porn on the machines because it's trained that way. So they're shutting down Grok. And the investigation continues into Elon Musk personally as well in Europe. Are they doing the right thing or we? Okay. And here it is again with a different lens.
He's also getting sued by folks in the U.S. as well, some middle school students.
Yeah. We're building a digital companies that feed our deepest vulnerabilities, stripping away reality until only the algorithm remains. And then here we go. EU investigate Grok's stripping of reality while character AI settles a tragic toll of digital echo chambers. The soul is flayed by the machine, trapped in a simulacrum where the mirror only reflects what destroys us. And the quote, this is from NotebookLM. We live in a world where there is more and more information and less meaning. Jean Bouliard. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. And then here we go again. The allure of unfettered AI brings a dark harvest. Grok's undressing scandal sparks severe EU investigations, while character AI settles tragic lawsuits, proving that unregulated algorithmic intimacy behaves like a beautiful but deeply toxic environmental bloom. Wow. In a billion years, I would have never thought to illustrate the story that way. And I did this afternoon, all of this. And then we got the next story. So Toyota has this caregiving robot, kind of looks like this. I think this is actually accurate. So it's caring for elderly people. So it's got a gantry robot. And then this is the interpretation.
Can you go back one slide?
Yeah.
These robots do not look like they're caring for the elderly people.
No, it's got
having something else.
So the one thing I will say about illustrating, and that's what I do for a living. I teach illustration too. I teach all graphic design classes, but so I'm having a lot of fun. You'll see a little bit of my students' work coming up soon, because that's what our deep dive today is going to be about. So we're coming up on the hour, so we got one more hour. All right, so I'm going to keep going, but so it's the intentionality of what you want to say. So would I use this one for the story? No. What I was doing this for is an experiment. I mean, this is creepy as hell. I mean, you don't want this taking care of your grandma, do you? No, for sure. But I just played around with some different ways. This one's kind of elegant. In fact, I'm thinking that this might be the way that I iterate. When I'm doing a design, I think, can you imagine making the object that's actually, it's a hanging from the ceiling robot that basically gets all the stuff, helps you out of bed. That's basically what it is. It's a caregiver for elderly people that's actually attached to the ceiling over the bed, so it can do everything for you. Put the covers up and down, listen to you snore, whatever, get you some tea. So there's another version, again, a little bit darker version, but so interpretation and a human in the loop. Of course, I would say no to this, but it is beautiful. I got to give it that, right? And there's something that, this could be great. I would love it to make my tea in the morning. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So then we got type 2 diabetes and type 1 diabetes cured. Historic first using patients' own stem cells, no more insulin injections. I think there are 9 people that are cured of type 2. And after what the best research I've found, it was about $1.2 million per person. And they've already got it down to less than 100,000. And you basically go through stem cell and I forget what they call it, not genetic reprogramming or something. So it's a process, that takes about 3 months, but they're getting it shorter and shorter and faster and cheaper, which is what this is supposed to do, right? So here's the same version told by a different ecosystem. You can see this is a Barbara Kruger style. This is a kind of a gross style. I'm guessing that's Joel Peter Witkin meets the AI kind of thing. There's a Lazarus miracle. So I like it. A patient walks out of a Chinese hospital with their type 2 diabetes reversed. Scientists took his own stem cells, reprogrammed them in the laboratory forge, returned them as perfect insulin producing guardians. Whoa. And then I love this one because I was asking about a bunch of marine animals and stuff. So it got this little guy in here. If you cut off part of its body, it regrows. So it used it for this particular kind of way of genetic so stem cell breakthrough, type 2 diabetes reverse. So these, okay, here's the creepy one. Okay, I love this one. This is the one that Perplexity did using Nana Banana. So it actually has, as one of its tools of the 21, it has Nana Banana. So this is completely using Nana Banana directly from Perplexity, which my guess is it's using Claude to make the prompt and then executing using the other tool. So that's why Mixture Experts is the best way to go, because you get the good writing of Claude and it's deciding, and it knows because it knows, so you don't have to ask me. I mean, for sure, Claude's where you want to write, but you get to producing images, it's worthless. So that's the deal. So they made a spy robot. DARPA, guess who that is? That's the people who gave us the internet. It's Department of Defense, right? It's the military. That started the internet because they wanted to be able to fire nuclear weapons all around the world instantaneously. So they created internet, and then they gave us a commercial layer on top of it. That's what you're sitting on top of, the death engine of the Cold War. Everything comes from DARPA or from NASA, which is much better, right? So there it is again, DARPA's cockroach spy robots. So it has video, audio, and here's the coolest part. It has the backpack that has AI in it. That, the brain is, they actually have mapped the brain so they can have it behavior, turn left, turn right, crawl up here. So it literally has a video engine and it can see wherever it goes. So you just pop this into a terrorist cell, a bunch of cockroaches that you won't even see. And it's kind of camouflaged nicely and it can fly in there and you're controlling where it's going. You got a remote control on a cockroach, for God's sakes. That's both scary and exciting. And here's this is in the style of Banksy meets Barbara Kruger. This is what it is. So you're going to see a lot of Banksy because I love what Banksy does. because he makes comments about these six-legged, the Pandora's box. DARPA looked at nature's ultimate survivor and said, let's make it ours. Dash hexpods crawl through cracks no drone can reach. Living cyborg insects controlled by human minds via neural implants and electronic backpacks. Brilliant for search and rescue, nightmare fuel for surveillance. So it could be used to go into a building collapse and find people and maybe even have a two-way conversation. How you doing down there? You need something, right? Oh, and this is creepy too. This is another one. There was, of course, no way of knowing whether you were being watched at any given moment. George Orwell. And look, it put the AI TV Starship right on the cockroach's leg. I mean, this is nuts. And so you know why I'm staying up at late, because this, right? And I haven't even started. And look at this one. This is just, oh my God, that's brilliant. So it literally is plugged into its brain. It says turn left, turn right. Here's the, here's where you're supposed to. So it's got GPS built into it. It's got a Google, a WhatsApp and a map and everything in it, right? Oh my. And it shows you how it works. I just can't, right? So there's a stem cell breakthrough. And this is what, okay. So everything is happening. So this is escape velocity. This is longevity escape velocity is the story. So in 2026, most of the world isn't ready because healthcare, drug discovery, scientific research, all hitting escape velocity right today. The machines are rewriting the laws of biology itself, while our laws and schools still live in the old world. So wake up, folks. We are at the end times or the beginning of the Renaissance. I don't know about you, but I'm choosing Renaissance all the way. So this is what it is. And this is what we can do. Immune tolerance. Following the Lazarus miracle comes the bodyguard protocol, custom engineered CAR-TREG immune sentinels that stand eternal watch over the insulin cells with no anti-rejection drugs needed. Type 1 diabetes has finally met its reckoning. So this is it. Cancer, same way. You put a payload on there. All right, so let's get the robots, because we always have to have robots, right? So this is a flying humanoid robot. Yes, jet-powered is here, baby. So this is Yanko Designs in February, came up with a flying robot. Yes, for military. Yeah, okay. Humanoids are now, so if you take a look at recent stories about Tesla making their cars, they put in iron ore at one end and electricity and a bunch of other stuff. In the dark, the robots build the entire car, and then Tesla cars drive to your front door anywhere in the United States autonomously. So that's where we are. In 24 months, that's where we're going. So they're reproducing themselves. So the two things you need to understand that's happening right now, it's maxed out on its intelligence in math, science, etc. Now it's recursively improving itself every day. What your job is to be a better version of yourself every day. It's doing it now. And it's learning from itself. So it has a bunch of bots that have certain skills, like make me a Word document, turn that into a PowerPoint, turn it into a visual. All of the ecosystem of all of this is finally in one place. And I have receipts and proof. Humanoids roam the headquarters promising robot-built robots within 24 months. The loop of recursive automated creation closes, removing the human entirely from the genesis of the next generation. The quote, "The blind watchmaker has designed a machine that can finally design itself." Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins, by the way, came up with the word meme. Look that up. And then this is another interpretation of the same thing. It can repair itself, self-improvement. This is the Photoshop one that I love, right? So this is the one that had to do with animals. You can see there's 4 different themes going here. If we go back and look at each one of the prompts, I'll have those available for you guys as a download if you want to. And then Hollywood is losing jobs, right? So Amazon applies 75% automation, right? Hollywood jobs, dead serious. 75%, 41,000 jobs already lost. So AI is taking over, and automation is happening. Block, the company, nukes 40% of its workers. Mr. Dorsey says AI did it. Faster, better, cheaper. He just fired 40% of his people. The stock surges go up 25%. Why? Because he didn't have any overhead. He got rid of humans. So is that a good thing? Heck no. This should be outlawed, and as quick as we can, because 40% of all jobs in America will be gone by next year already. And this is absolutely true. Go look it up. My students entering the job market had a 40% drop in the number of jobs available. If you want to know why Gen Z stare happens, because they're at home and they ain't got jobs. Thank God my kids are out there doing something, right? And in fact, my son has got the perfect job. He went from being a coder at a company to being a personal trainer, the number one safest job there is on the planet. It's completely, and he didn't even think about it. What does my daughter do? She sells cosmetics to people and help them look more beautiful. She works at Ulta. So I've got two kids that somehow, maybe they listen to me, I don't know, but they shifted to jobs that are human. That's what you need to do. Whatever it is that you want to do that's human, that other humans appreciate. You play music, that's forever going to be something they're going to want to do. And then just don't let the AI take over, and use the AI to make your music better. Just a better version of yourself, period. So my next job, I'm going to get AI to help me sleep better and meditate and to work out and get my diet ready. But there you go. We're at escape velocity. We're at AGI, artificial general intelligence. Been there, done that. We are headed to the singularity. Self-improvement robots, self-improving AIs, self-improvement and agentic workflows are here. They have arrived. You cannot wait. Dive in. So here's the curve: Silicon Pantheon, the Lazarus biology, the physical robots. Those are the three things that have now reached this year, not next year, this year, have already reached escape velocity. So who wrote the script? Broadcast ends here. And this is the end of our part, right? So now we're going to move into what have I been doing lately? So this is one you might want to try. So somebody put this up online. This is a prompt. So we're now getting into our last and final part of this. It's 9:12, so I got 45 minutes to land the plane on this. So I'm going to take you through this. So take a guess at what's happened at this time. So this is all the prompt I put into Gemini. That's what I got. Okay. That location happens to be the location where, according to scripture, where Jesus was crucified at the year 33 at 1500 hours. There you go. Okay. So I started to think about that, and I thought, I've seen these pictures where people have pictures of them and Hitler's in the same spot they were. There's even a Google project where you can go back and look at the historical New York City is all mapped out. So you can go back in history and look at the archives, which are linked into it, which is kind of a fun thing. And then, so here we go. So I said, make this couple, and they're going to go through history. So the left side of the frame should be history itself. There's the Wright brothers. There they are at Kitty Hawk, and they're at that same location today. And of course, and the sort of artistic statement of this, and I'm turning these into saleable prints, by the way. I'm going to be cleaning them up. This is my first round. So it's going to be a statement about how we want a certificate of presence that we, at the same location that they made history and created that, you sat there and you took a selfie. That kind of sums it up for me. And then while Marie Antoinette's being beheaded by the French, you stood at the same place and you took a selfie. And then when you were a space tourist, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon for the first time and you took a selfie. So it's going to be a selfie book, and it's an artistic statement. Now, when I first tried it,
you got to add the Titanic in there.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. And I'm going to make it go different though. Right. So, this is, I just said, I want you to make, and I gave the dates. I gave the signing of the Constitution, Martin Luther King, man on the man, and I said Hitler, and I said the fall of the Berlin Wall. This is one shot prompt. I just said, these are the 5 pictures I want. It just did them all in one picture. I said, no. I want each one to be different. And you can see, I don't know who's playing Martin Luther King there, but that ain't him. And Hitler's definitely, I think that's Tom Hanks. I think Hitler's Tom Hanks. And I think it's Edison that's the founding father there, if I'm not mistaken. But the date and time is right. So, and then I did it again. Of course, got to have some Christians and lions. And I'm going to be working this in Photoshop and Nana Banana and getting this really good. D-Day. Holy cow. There were very few pictures there on D-Day. Now there's a selfie. And he's even got dirt and water on him, right? Like he's there, Porto. Oh, and I love this one. This is one of my favorites. What I loved about it is I just said Cleopatra. So the time from today to Cleopatra's time, if you take that from Cleopatra's time, is the same distance to when the pyramids were built. So when she got there, they were 2,000 years old, or 3,000 or whatever it is. Yeah, 2,000 years old. Holy cow. And look at the flowers and the stuff. Yeah, that's just me sitting there. I was at don't try this at home, please. I was prompting in a parking lot. What other scenarios could I have come up with, And anyway, so that's it. Why is that it?
And
that is it.
And while you go get maybe a glass of water, wet your whistle. 'Cause you're getting a little raspy. I do have one thing to share.
Okay.
Then
we're going to go in how we did tonight's news.
Yeah. So this is just a little palate cleanser. And seriously, you should go get some water because you're sounding like you're on the last gasp there. When you are at when you are seeing you're out to eat and you see robots maybe clearing your tables or bringing you drinks, it's kind of cool. But what happens is sometimes the robots kind of take on a mind of their own. And so this is what we have here now. We had a robot that decided that it wanted to entertain the customers instead of cleaning, and it started breakdancing in the middle of dinner service.
At this hot pot restaurant, a humanoid robot's attempt to bust a move. Items flying in the air. Restaurant workers appearing to try to rein in the robot with little luck.
The way this played out, it's funny, but what are the potential risks of a robot like that going haywire in a tight restaurant setting?
No, my reaction was first laughter, and then I immediately said out loud, "This is very scary and very."
Yeah, so I it's very scary and very safe. Yeah, it's a dancing robot. We will find a way to naysay anything, but I do stand by for the same reason. I don't want them to take my steering wheel out of my self-driving car. Because that Tesla had a self-driving car that went into a concrete barrier. I don't want. Every robot should have like an emergency stop feature on the top of it. It's just an emergency override because you never know what's going to happen.
By the way, Perplexity has a stop button. FYI,
yes.
So they thought about safety as a primary thing.
I also think about the fact that, and I saw this on the internet years ago, but behind every homicidal robot is a programmer who had the foresight to put red LEDs in their eyes for just such an occasion.
Oh, okay.
Because you think about it, every robot that goes haywire and turns on humans, their eyes shift to red. That's how you know they're an evil robot. Well, the only reason the eyes can go red is because somebody put red diodes or red LED lights inside the eyes to make that robot go to represent the fact that the robot was evil. So,
okay, cool.
So if you want dancing robots, there's a market there.
Oh, they've already got sex robots, by the way. They're shipping now, so you can order yours. And they're fully anatomical capable.
Rick,
sorry.
We said before the show we weren't going to talk about your new girlfriend. What you do Friday through Wednesday is your business.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So, what I'm going to show you next is first I've written an entire book, a movie, and it has companions. It's called Abracadabra. So, Do you have my screen still? Can we bring that up?
No, I lost your screen when we switched over to the dancing robot.
Oh, okay. Let me get back there. StreamYard. All right, so we're going to share. Oh, that's right. I got to switch to a different screen anyway. So share screen, window. Yes, we go. And StreamYard, audio, and share. Okay, now you should see a lot of stuff in here. So I'm going to actually start with, so this is Perplexity. And this is Perplexity Max. Now you can get the same thing. So if you just get Perplexity, you have it built in. If you're paying the $17 a month, you get what I'm about to show you. Okay. 3 things that you want to see. Also, by the way, if you open up the Chrome browser with Perplexity built in, it's called Comet. You have over here Perplexity playing with Perplexity Max. So you can actually do everything you can do here, including uploading files and doing everything here and controlling the browser. So I could actually have it do the demo for me. Everybody see it at the bottom right? And then what model is it going to choose? There's Claude Sonnet 4.6, Opus, Nematron. That's brand new. That's the one from NVIDIA. That is NVIDIA's OpenClaw with their special sauce of safety and security poured on inside of Perplexity. Holy cow. Or you just say, hey, do the best one. Okay. So, yeah. So that's sitting there. And I'm going to put that back away. That's my assistant on the side. And it has voice mode as well. So you can launch into voice mode up here in the top right. I hope you can see that little puppy up there. All right. Now I'm going to go to computer mode. So you can have it do all these things. And you can go into all of these tools. You've got them all, right? You can also upload everything you want, including all kinds of other things. Create files and apps. You can do that. Learn step by step, something how to interactive quizzes, control my browser, model counsel. So that is a multiple AI modes that will debate with you. Deep research and connect to connectors. So Google Drive, yes, please, thank you. Academic, Google Mail's already connected. Health is new. There you got social and Block Scout, and there are literally thousands in here. I think there's 187 so far. Every day they're basically, oh, here's Wiley. So they're really great at all the books for a school, right? And you can kind of see, and you can manage the connectors. So that means I'm going to invoke these as I'm doing it. There's the sources. So they're going to have one for Google NotebookLM. If they don't, I'm going to build it. And so now I can go over there and have this capability, or I can switch to computer. And now I have this capability. So to show you what I've been doing in computer is I created a couple of tasks. And this is what I've done on the right here. So you can kind of see this is what it created. So I'm going to open AI News. Where is it open? Open somewhere. Currently open. Up. I'm not quite sure what window it opened it in. Oh, here we go. Okay. So what I created is I asked it, I said, I've got an AI TV show. I would like you to go out and search for the best news. So here we go. This is what you looked at earlier, okay? So on the left, it has big news stories. So here's the stories. If I check on a story, so there's the DeepSeek capability. I didn't talk about OpenAI hits revenues. I didn't care about them. Here we go, Encyclopedia Britannica. So as I click on them, it's now going to generate 14 scripts in the center section. So that's the news in big news. Health is the second category. So, but drug discovery. Okay, I want to do that one. So I'm going to add that to it. You notice now it says 15 stories. I went to outrageous. So I said crazy little things that, humanoid robots roaming HQ. There we go. That's a cute one that I didn't do before. I'm going to take off the teen suicide and flying robots. Disney invests $1 billion. Okay, that sounds good. Then I go over to education. China leads here. New York Times, real risk of AI. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And so once I've done that, go through these. This is now operating 24/7. Next week, I have it report to me in the morning on Thursday of next week at 10 o'clock, and it will tell me all those. I check them out, and I hit generate scripts. Take a look at this. This is a conversation between me and Brandon. This is what it says. What's up, everybody? Welcome to AI News Live. I'm Brandon, and with me, as always, is the one and only Rick McCawley. We've got 15 incredible stories for you tonight. Buckle up, because we're going to have that read on.
I don't sound anything like that, for the record.
Whoa! And I haven't even tweaked it yet, because what you can do is train it on your voice by saying, go to Google NotebookLM, which will scrape every one of our conversations. Then it knows how we talk, and then I could build that in. This was done in 25 minutes.
Let me give it a go. Let me give it a go.
Okay.
Buckle up. Wait. You can't move it while I'm reading it.
Oh. Okay, here we go.
Rick, this is unprecedented. The Pentagon dusted off a law designed for foreign threats like Hawaii, or however you say that, and aimed at American Huawei. You need the phonetic spelling. That's what we need.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
American company. All because Dario Amodei drew 2 lines in the sand.
That's it. Yeah. Brandon, I'm going to say something that might surprise people. I think Dario Amodei is going to be on the right side of history here. This man looked at the Pentagon in the eyes and said, I don't want to help you build Skynet. And for that, they branded him a threat. Meanwhile, Sam Altman rushed in to grab the contract like a kid chasing an ice cream truck. The irony is dripping. Oh, that's actually pretty good. They need Claude so badly for Iran that they can't even cut ties cleanly. Dario is my guy, always has been. This is what real AI safety looks like. Not white papers, not blog posts, actually saying no when it matters. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Okay, so that's kind of cool. But then let's say that I would like to see this picture right here. If you notice what I did is, I went to the Hollywood one. There's the summary of the story. And I clicked on that little carrot right there. Look over here. Guess what that is? That's the prompt. Generate image. Might take a minute. It takes about a minute and a quarter or so. Let me kind of make some room for it. But you're going to see on the left there will appear the image. Every one of the images that I made is from these stories, just doing that. So I haven't tried it yet, but I want to see if this will work. Let me see if it can actually put another one in there. Yeah, so I can't generate another image until I do it. My goal is I'm going to make this automated. So as soon as I pick the 15 stories, it starts to generate one after another. So I don't have to.
And eventually it'll just be Rick's avatar and my avatar up here talking to you. And we'll be off on the beach in Tahiti.
Yeah, with all the excitement. And I'll say 3/4 of the way of the show, Brandon's going to say, go get a water, man. Your voice sounded really bad there.
Well, that's the good news is your AI avatar doesn't get dehydrated.
Right? So this was created, literally, I saw, I watched the YouTube videos. I watched 5 videos about Perplexity as a application. Let me go back and kind of, so it will put all the images. All the images ended up, oh, there it is. And there I save it. That's it. And then let's see. Well, I can't do it now, but you get the idea. And there's the story. And then I'm just going to go and hit generate the next one. And then, so I'm going to automate this process, and that's where I'm going to go. So that's basically Perplexity. So if you come into Perplexity, in fact, if I go up to the very top, I can show you what I started with. Build a live sortable dashboard of top 10 weekly AI news sources with dates and key impacts, including NVIDIA's NemoClaw 5.4, Anthropic's Pentagon dispute. I want you to act as an AITV producer, give me the most outrageous stories, give me a dashboard that I want to create. And so I talk for 20 minutes. Brandon, the producer, basically, that's it. That's my entire prompt. And then
how do we know you're not already? We would be much more polished than this if we were AI.
Man, that's for sure, right? So that's kind of cool. So then I said, okay, well, give me a dashboard. Let's see, which one did it do? It's the final one. Oh, okay. Give me a dashboard for analytics. Okay, here we go. So this took a look at my website, and I asked it to act as a so we have 619 subscribers. Target market is 1,000. I said, I want to get to monetization. Tell me what I got to do to get there. Give me an expert dashboard. So take a look at this. I mean, it literally is going through this. It's showing where our cadence was. And Brandon, we had a conversation last night about it. We stopped making the shorts. So what did it say to do? 10 million short views in 90 days can replace watch hours. currently estimate short views at 12,500. This path requires a massive short strategy shift. So it's telling me what to do.
I just took over the screen share just for a second because I was hoping you were going to talk about this, because I just wanted to show you. We're talking about Perplexity Computer. We're talking about the need to put on more shorts. So shorts are the little like clips from the shows that we do.
Yep.
And
that's it.
Historically, I've had to go in and download those, edit them, put a title card on. It takes, a lot of effort, which is part of the reason that I'm here. But you know what? I have AI. So what you're seeing on my screen right now, this has been running the entire time we've been on the air. Perplexity Computer is going through and picking out from Opus Clip the entire and it's doing 15 clips per episode from our past 10 episodes, and it's just downloading them onto my computer. And so by the time we're done, I'm going to give all of that back. I'm going to throw it up on Google Drive. I'm going to give Perplexity access to Google Drive and say, hey, go ahead and put these on YouTube and schedule these and schedule them out and put them on.
Okay, I'm going to get a little Perplexity t-shirt to put on my lobster. It'll be Perplexity Lobster. That's what
Perplexity Lobster.
And I'm going to get t-shirts made for all of us and your kids too. So it's doing that. I mean, so stay tuned, folks, because this is where we hit 1 million followers. Let them know what we just talked. We dropped 3.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe right now. If this isn't the most entertained you've been in a little while, I got to tell you, So, but can you? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, guess what this is? So, this is the other reason why I switched around, because news is nothing. It means nothing to anybody. What they come here for is a great creative music and the education. So, I took that to note. So, if you notice, today's show is built upon this heads-up display. Okay. So, Mission Tools outperforms by 470%. The tutorials consistently draw more views. Here is the spots. So look at this. Music and creativity the potential is off the charts. And then Mission Tools is really good, but we're not making them short enough. And then it goes in here and it tells me the #1 all-time play is Hamilton, the preview, Kiss the Ring. Who knew? And that's not even part of AITV. So we need to have more of that stuff on here. So I think the next episode, I might go into a deep dive on Hamilton, because I'm getting ready to create Dracula turning into Jack and Frankenstein turning into Frankenstein's monster turning into Frank. And you're going to see us do it using Perplexity and Krea's nodal mode and automate the entire process and make a movie out of it. So stay tuned. So Machine of Love and Grace is kind of a Nemo with VO. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's Nano with VO. So I thought the Helium Dreams was doing okay, but look, 328 views. So I could take a look at this, and this is details, right? So Critical Gap, only 8 shorts with 350 total views. You need 10 million views in 90 days. So and then look at this. This is strategic next step towards monetization. Now, the only thing I want to do right now is have it read it to me. So, and then make up executive notes. Oh, Spanish language. That's something I thought about doing, and I just need to learn how to do it. But we're going to be in Spanish and Creole. Hey, anybody have a language they would like to have it be in? And supposedly, YouTube's been working on it for a while. I think when you get to monetization, you can have it lip sync in multiple languages now. So they're getting there. And if they do it for us, then we don't have to spend our credits. $200 a month buys you a lot, though. You can see this is only 200 credits to create this out of 35,000 I started with per month. So, yeah, I think we can use this thing quite a bit. We do have to watch it, and you do have a little a button that will tell you. And then it goes in, here's production workflow. So remember, it says on planning and analytics on Monday, review the dashboard, and then Thursday, AI News dashboard generates 20 to 30 new stories by 5 p.m. Select the top 15, 10 to 15, generate nano-banana images for each one. So I'm going to automate that process, and then generate Brandon Leeds React scripts. There we go. And then we go do the show. And then we record everything. We feed it back in production, post-production, editing, etc. So you're going to see us go create this thing. And you can see this is AI TV Starship Analytics. This is on their website. So this is Perplexity Computer, and this is the space they've given me right there. That's the file, right? Oh my God. I mean, I just can't. I can't. I don't know what to do with this. All right, so let me go a little bit further. Now I've been really, really busy. Here is my abracadabra. Let me show you what's the one I want to do. Oh, so I want to go back to, let me do the greatest thinkers. Do I have a greatest thinkers kind of? Oh, no, I don't. I know where I was supposed to go. Supposed to go to AlphaFold. Abracadabra is the one that I wanted to show you. Oh, 2 things that you want to get for yourself if you're using Google Notebook LM. So I'm going to go into here, the greatest thinkers, and then you can see here's a slide deck. This is a prompt that I'm using quite a bit. It's Mad Magazine, basically. So this is the greatest thinkers of all time. What is intellect? What is it to be smart? What is to have consciousness, etc.? So the little prompt for this one is, and I've created it here, so I can show the prompt, if you can see it. Mad Magazine style, super detailed, Mad Magazine style infographic, personified graphics illustrating the most important conceptual ideas and thinking from the sources of this notebook expressed as great ideas. Allegorical story, photo, personalized, 3D, colorful. Okay, so that's it. So if I copy that, if you install this little application, you'll see up here, and it's called Cortex, Kortex. You get lifetime ownership for $50, period. Spend it, best thing you're ever going to do. And let me show you what it does. It installs all of this up here. And one of the things it does is you have a prompt library. So I typically, there's my Mad Magazine style. To create a new prompt library, I just put a title. I'm going to call it Mad, just for fun here. And I'm going to go through. It's going to be part of my all prompts. And I paste. So once I have something that works, I can come in here and tweak it. And then I can add it to a new project, right? So here's my Russian constructivist, biblical, blah, blah, blah. So here's all the ones that I have. So if I want to do a news graphic, Michelangelo and Joel Peter Witkin, that gets me some really interesting stuff. All I do is click on it. Then I close this and I go back to studio and then I hit slide deck and I paste. And then it goes and generates it. So you're going to see that, yeah, I reached my daily requirement. So to give you an idea of how different the same information, this is with a prompt that says something about Michelangelo, biblical size and, kind of stuff, right? So this is a very biblical, classic Renaissance-y style. Look how different this is. Same data going in, different data going out. And look at the detail. I mean, with AI, we're summoning the demon. Success in creating AI would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last. Yeah, these are quotes from thousands of pieces of information. This is Plato's testimony on the algorithmic cave. So this is a whole, and there's Shelley. This is one of the originators of artificial intelligence. Yeah, she's the one that started the whole thing. You probably didn't know that there was such a person. There you go. So you learn stuff along the way. So what did I do? I went over here, did a bunch of research, and then I get this. And now I have the ability to come in here and have it do a bunch of things for us. And then I can do a deep dive here. And then the latest things that I'm doing. So this is an infographic. What are the deep questions of the AI age? So it's based on that. Love as a transhumanism, agency and control, reality and simulation. So all I do is I take this massive amount of detail, 298 pieces of content, and they are, this is the video. There it is. So this is Adriana Friedman, chairman and CEO of NASDAQ. This is her entire summary right here. If I click on this it'll tell me exactly what she said about equity and tokenization. And that's the entire transcript right there. Then I can go over here and I can open it up.
Over the last year to date, up 14%. Over the last year, NASDAQ shares up 40%.
There you go, right? So that's where she was talking about it. Holy cow. It's your thinking engine. And then here's what's really cool about it. Let me just open up a new window. I'm just going to do this. This is last minute kind of thing. I'm going to go to Gemini. This is the 4th super skill of the day. when you're in Gemini, make sure you're signed in. You see what it says right there? NotebookLM. Okay. These are all my notebooks. I had 200, I had 300. That's the max on the $20 a month plan. I haven't maxed out on this. So let's say, Midjourney, right there we go. Oh, Palantir, Dark Enlightenment. I don't want to go there. I want something lighter. Alpha Fold and the Future of Discovery. Okay. Let me do that. So now it's got 27 million context window. That's what its source is coming from. Making me an infographic that talks about the 3 most amazing things that AlphaFold is opening up. Oops. Make me a... Oh, it's not hearing me. Well, anyway, so I can go right there and I can come in and create an image. I can create music. I can create a video from this information. In fact, I can have it create me a video. And then I could do it in glamour style, civilization. Here we go. Make about AlphaFold. NDEMIS HASSABAS. I think I spelled his, I know I spelled his name wrong. Well, let's just see what happens, right? To create a video. And so I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. But so we've got a full circle here. I could actually bring in Perplexity over here to the right and have it run this. So if I wanted 3,000 of these to be made overnight, I could do it right here. I can only generate ready for text or images. Try another prompt. Okay. I think I would have to do it a little bit different. I would have to get it to. And by the way, if I have a great conversation, let's say that I want to go back and take, here's my Life Force One project. So I'm working with students right now. We're working on the Life Force project. And let me take you up. This is a commercial. We're doing a Super Bowl commercial, and we're doing the entire thing right here. This is the break. Oh, here we go. So this is what it created for me. So our Life Force product is, this is the advertisements. So there's 4 color palettes: health, nutrition, exercise, and mental is our 4 categories. So I fed it our entire deck of everything we're doing, color graded, because the color for health is green, or yellow, and yellow for vitality, and that's Life Force One. We're actually improving this logo. Then we have a storyline for each one of these: nutrition, exercise, and mental. And then it says, to extend human health span by unifying the fragmented health universe into one intuitive interface, we aggregate every heartbeat, lab result, and meal to transform passive patients into proactive architects of their own longevity. Life Force One, trademarked. Yes, we did all that. And a whole lot more. And I could go into, I mean, this is like 500 pages. And this is from the color palette that we made earlier. And this is the colors, the 6 colors in our ecosystem, the 4 foundational pieces, the background and foreground. This is for the app that we're making that aggregates all your devices and everything in one place. I don't want to give too much away because it's still in proprietary mode before I get all of my other things. But yeah, we're so deep down the rabbit hole that nobody can catch up with us at this point. So infographics for my class. This is a project. Let me go back a little ways, but I can go take a look at my stuff. So here's just the videos that I've been doing this week. In fact, right before the show, literally in less than 10 minutes, you remember seeing this little guy here? That was done literally. I got out of the bathroom, 2 minutes. I asked for this and it made it. And then I downloaded it. And then, so yeah, that's kind of like what's going on. So this is what I created in just the last week or so. This is for an infographic that my student, well, you see so this is the infographic for testing on beagles. So that was a story. And I just sat there and vibe coded this in 10 seconds. So the student told me what the story was. I copied and pasted the New York Times article about they were using beagles. And then I said, make it so the beagle's being made up by a scientist. And that's what it did. The alligator Alcatraz, this is a real person's what do you call it? Editorial illustration about alligator Alcatraz we all know about. And so what I said, I'd like to take this illustration about alligator Alcatraz, which is in Florida Keys, and an ICE facility that's a prison, people, unbelievable conditions, and turn it into a 1940s photorealistic postcard, the kind that says, "Welcome to Florida, the Sunshine State." And this is what it made. Then I took that picture and take a look at this. So it kept, this is the actually Shark Graphics is Tia Town, I think is the woman's name. So it left her signature, and then it made this. Look at the Florida postage stamp, 600,000 miles to, I mean, and this is it. Then I took this over to Grok and I animated it. That's what you saw earlier today. Holy cow. I mean, I just don't even know what to do with myself because I'm just like, there's not enough time in the day. And so if you want to join me this Saturday, this is the kind of stuff I do all the time. And then here's the so my book, Abracadabra, here is all of the books and everything that I've written and audio files. And so I said, you know what? I've got 15 chapters. This is all the chapters right here, by the way. And this is the characters. And this is where, once I'm done with Claude, I come in here and I ask questions of the data. This is what I'm doing now. I'm turning the chapter. So I gave it the 15 chapters. And then one at a time, I said, find the 15 moments in chapter 1, turn it into a graphic. So the story starts, this is chapter 11, not to give anything away, but there's some cool things. Abracadabra is a Sanskrit word over 10,000 years old. And this is the whole thing. Here is the attacks. So literally, I took the 15-page book that I wrote in 1 week, just with an idea, kept on going deeper, deeper, deeper. And I added a lot of human into it. So this was an obsession that I had, right? And here is the story, okay? As a graphic novel. And I've been tweaking it. I'm trying to decide whether I want it like this. So do you remember the story we talked about last week of in Japan, they had these way back healing radios where it would tune to a date and time, and that worked for Alzheimer's patients. So as I was writing this, that came up, and I immediately put it into the book because, so the story goes, Kavi, which the word means poet, and spoken poet, Kavi Vaka, which is Sanskrit for I speak and I make. So he is the poet of writing. So he found the book. His father was a professor of Sanskrit, and he was expert on everything. He has Alzheimer's. He's dying. The river behind his house is completely devastated. And he reads, this is the first chapter, right? And he says, he finds this book. So he's always finding stuff that all around. So this is the more or less the story of it to give you an idea. And so abracadabra means I speak and I create. The belief is that the ancient woman, the goddess of all the world, spoke the world into existence. So there was no Big Bang theory. There was actually a woman, the goddess, that spoke the world into existence. And that's the story here. These are the keepers throughout all time, who every once in a while, every 250 years, the seventh generation has to pop up and save the world, because as America falls, January 4th, I'm sorry to say, that's the end of our 250 years. India was going to rise. So that all came together to create this book. So then fast forward to so he reads this book to his sister who's starving to death. There's not enough food in the house. And so he reads the book. Guess which book? I Think I Can, I Think I Can. Words are the only food that we can the only starlight we can after the dark. The only starlight we have after the dark is Do I Think I Can. So his grandfather, Pithma, once a Sanskrit scholar, is feeding into the fog. And so, the words have to be redone, but basically he then gets a crack phone that he gets to come to life. He builds a large language model called Cadabra, based on open source, because that's who he is, gets food for his mom, and his mom's being put out of business. I won't tell you the whole story because it's a really deep, and I'm almost done with publishing rights, and copyrights is coming soon. It's going to be a movie, and I've done this both as visuals for each one of the pieces, and you'll see more of it coming up soon. But anyway, he voices into Avacadabra, I create as I speak. The grammar does not judge intent. Hot executes, it executes, the bot executes instructions, and then it turns the book, the compendium of unfinished beings that the grandfather gifts him, doesn't know what, and then he creates a beetle that eats all the plastics out of his river in his backyard. And then he tries to cure his grandfather. And he starts with the Wayback, the healing time machine. And that came from that story that was on Kyle's show, that I heard someone just mention that it was being used for Alzheimer's treatment. And so that's where I write. That's how I write, is I start with things that I visualize in my head. I wonder if, and then I see if I can make it happen. So then we've got also a version of this. So there's 5 of them around the world. So these are, like I did with Grok, I now have done all 15 chapters with the people. So this is the mother of the young man in Kenya, in Congo. This is the Japanese grandfather. They were all part of the 5 originals, each generation. And so these 5 kids around the world, in all the poorest places of the world, are basically going to heal, including 7th generation Haudenosaunee, Iroquois Nation people. This is the grandfather that has the knowledge that is also losing their mind, and they end up curing what's wrong with them. So they all of a sudden get together. So there's, again, I don't want to give away too much. I'm going to stop right there. Just to say that there's a UN, and they had all met when they were in their 20s. And they were students underneath their parents' tutelage that met in Geneva after World War II, where the language of Esperanto, which my mother was the typist for the book, and she went to Geneva, Switzerland, the whole family did, and she delivered the book, the manuscript for Esperanto, to the creators of this language. And the idea was these are 5 ancient, profound, foundational makings of human beings that at the time of a disruption, every 250 years, they stand up at the 7th generation cycle and they plan what to do about the next 250 years. Who's the successor? So these are the 5 corners of the earth that come together to decide what to do when the next empire falls. So that's the profound thing, and it goes really, really deep. There's a whole educational program and backstory. There is teachings about 7 generations. Each one, I, because of we, the Ubuntu tribe. And so the Japanese can, Ikigai, the Japanese, I mean, all of these things are been coming from my entire life's interest in what have we lost as a civilization. And imagine that there has been a succession, but we have screwed it up. Right when we have a God that can interpret, and you can speak with your words. You can say abracadabra, and this show tonight proves it. I can say abracadabra, and look what I did with my spoken word. But if I don't have a heart and a soul and a desire to do nothing but love, then my spoken word will die, and we can't let that happen. There's a happy ending to this, and they go back and they start to understand. So I did a deep dive. So there's a 300-page manuscript on each one of these 5 different pivotal ways of being that were written before any of us even thought about it. In fact, a lot of it, Sanskrit, some of it was lost. But it turns out the NASA scientist looked at Sanskrit and it has 3,078 different rules for it. It matches up to large language models precisely as if it fit like a puzzle. So in 1968, and then here's, these are the still frames. So these are the students. These are the ones that are the 14, 15 years old. These are the chosen ones. There's 6 because there's 5 different foundational people. If someone dies, the 6th one takes over. It's the alternative to help guide the world. And then each one of them, and you can see his skin is filled with gold because the kintsugi effect. And then, of course, you've got an evil guy named Victor who's a techno terrorist. And then, 7th generation, and then they're speaking. So that's what the visuals will look like when it comes to the movie. So I'm going to take that and actually create the same with every one of them. So here I am. And then I had it organize everything into, this is my Google Drive. You can see these are all of my my processes here. So these are all the PNGs. And I had Perplexity Comet organize and structure these. Then I tried Claude. Gemini is getting capable of this, but I can come right here and I can explore with Gemini the contents of this folder and have it summarize this. So I can come right down here. So there's Gemini. I'm not going to try to prompt it, but I could say, find out about this. And then, and this is the last thing where I'm going to land the plane. The cool thing, let me see if I get to it. So if anybody wants to join me on this Saturday from 10 to so, one of the other cool things that you should get is grab this little button right here. This is your extensions. Go to manage your extensions. So 2 extensions you want, Cortex, Kortex. It puts Notebook everywhere. Not kidding. The other one you want is YouTube Notebook. That's free, completely free. What does that do for you? You come here and guess
most people are using AI to.
And right here it says Notebook. And right now it's going to take this and it says, you want to create a new notebook? Sure, why not? And it takes that, copies and pastes it, creates a new notebook, and now you're creating a notebook. Then when you come here, if all of your sources you want to, obviously you can search for more over here. This is Cortex. It gives you all these things. So if you have a huge library of notes, like say, here's the great thinkers, look at how many there are. I can download these all at once into one zip file. That's the sources. So I can create another notebook. I can come over here and I can export all of these documents. I'm not set up for this account right now, but I have to switch to the other one. And it's going to download the whole thing for me. That means I don't sit here and just do them all. And then I put them in a folder. And they include the markdown language for all of the stuff going in. So it actually compresses and makes these smaller. So I can set up a duplicate. So I made up 3 copies of it. And then I have 2 accounts. Since I've maxed out both of my accounts, I switch from one to the other so I can quickly go back and forth. So anyway, and this is super cool. Then I go here and I have this document. All right, so this is a PDF. And then I come over here and this is Acrobat, which I pay for. I want to convert this into a PowerPoint. When I do that, convert to PowerPoint, it's going to then convert it, open up a new window. I'm going to fast forward here. We go. Let's see, where did I go? Okay. And it will make the PDF. When you get to the PDF, convert it to a PowerPoint. You can then take the PowerPoint over and convert it into, so let me go to a PowerPoint. Slide deck, so there we go. So I can open up any of these and I can summarize the file. I can make a copy. I can open it with preview. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. Let me back out here. Close that. I can open it. There we go. With Google Slides. Okay, so that's a PowerPoint turned into Google Slides. And when I have it in Google Slides, I can click on the image. This is $20 a month, folks. I can go right here to Slides. This is the cool part. Beautify the slides. Now, it's too beautiful. I don't want to do that right now. But I could beautify. Each one then is nano banana editable. Cool. Then when I'm done, I come over here and I say, File, let's make it into a video. I'm just going to do that to show you how quick this is. It says, which slides do you want to make into a video? Ooh, all of them, of course. Let's import. It's going to make an audio overview. It's going to make a video out of this and export to an MP4 with full editing. So if you have a still image, you could turn it into a VO video for the still image, and you could output the whole thing at the end. Okay, so here we are. Let's just play.
Welcome to the Abracadabra Brigade. I create as I speak. This cinematic universe bridges ancient wisdom, artificial intelligence, and a generation's fight for the future. The gap between dreaming and doing has collapsed. AI models now parse ancient languages into executable code. 6 wounded children are now able to conjure agents to heal the earth by feeding ancient Paninian grammar into open-source large language models. Avracadabra, I create as I speak. Meet Kavivak, the catalyst in the voice, and Pitamavak, the guru in memory and Sanskrit. Kavi's purpose is to speak the first word, proving the impossible is real. Pitamize is to preserve the original algorithm of creation. Amara Osei is the architect, with the superpower of the mind, seeing the invisible architecture of global extraction. Grace Anansewa is the historian, with the power of history and Ubuntu, proving that healing is never a solo act.
Very good.
Tomoko Hayashi is the calibrator, with the power of the eyes, ensuring the magic survives scientific scrutiny. Kenji Hayashi is the form, with the power of order and spirit, teaching that words carry spiritual presence. Samuel Okafor is the sentinel, with the power of the heart, who must channel justified fury into guardianship. Adewale Okonkwo is the ancestor, with the power of vibration and force, embodying the courage to defy empires. Lucia Rios is the mender, with the power of the hands, proving the brigade's magic directly to the soil. Mama Isabel Villafane is the sage, with the power of vision and thought, warning of destruction. Dakota Clearwater is the redundancy, with the power of the ears. His purpose is to hear what others miss. Joseph Clearwater is the keeper, with the power of the long view, proving that ancient languages solve modern problems. The anatomy of creation is a 7-step process architecture, starting with intuitive resonance and ending with the care cycle. This journey involves parsing ancient grammar into executable code, voicing a wish, and manifesting and conjuring a material result. There are 4 forms of manifestation: river runners, physical; wire weavers, digital; body walkers, nano; and hybrids, dual realm. Each form operates in a different domain, from biology to human networks and convergence. The synthesis of senses forms one unfragmented consciousness. The children, together, form a single unfragmented human consciousness, operating at full capacity, using their collective senses of voice, mind, ears, hands, heart, and eyes. The core conflict is the collision of timelines, power versus responsibility. The consortium, focused on quarterly profits, seeks to manage brokenness. The brigade, rooted in the deep future, plants seeds for a world beyond empires. We are speech, the creators as we speak. We load the worthy with treasures of clean water, healed earth, and shared wealth. We speak truth into being, or perish unuttered. Abracadabra. We create as we speak.
Okay. I'm downloading that as an MP4. That will be on my YouTube channel in a little bit. I don't know what else to say.
Wow. We're living in the future.
Yeah. I mean, and I really, I'm speechless except for to say abracadabra. We're in magic.
And that is where we will end it.
Yep, that's it.
And we didn't even get to everything. I mean, Gamma had updates. Lovable today. Google had updates today. You got to come back next week. We're going to talk about it all.
Yeah, we promise. Here's our promise. We're going to start with 3 things that you need to take away. I hope you listen, go back and watch it again and again. Record your stuff. Get those 3 applications. Start doing what I'm doing. This is a summation in a week. Well, 2 weeks. I've been working on that nonstop, that book. And I wrote another book this morning that's going to be a play and a movie and a TV series. So if you want to join me, baby, just come on. I'm going to need 1,000 million points of light to come together. And
join Rick Saturday.
Yep. Yeah,
and I'll see you over on in the AI Salon and on AI Learning Lab, which started 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Thank you, Brandon. Love and peace to everybody. Namaste to that beautiful heart and soul inside of you, that stardust turning into starlight. Take care.